Good morning, and I suppose I better say Happy New Year as well, because this is my first video of the new year, and in fact it's my first video for some time, and the reason for that is I was actually doing up my dining room prior to Christmas. All very exciting stuff. And the reason I was doing up my dining room is because I was trying to make it nice for everybody over Christmas, because my sister, her husband, my two nieces, my niece's partner, and my niece's 6-month-old baby were all coming for Christmas, and they all came over. We were all triple vaccinated, well, apart from the baby, and all tested, and so we managed to have a nice Christmas and dodge the COVID-19 bullet as well. So that was all very nice, and I hope you guys had an equally nice Christmas and that you got to spend time with your families and you had a great new year as well. And yeah, it was nice here, and I hope it was nice for you. But what am I talking about today? Well, I'm a little bit late to the party, but I'm talking about Ubisoft and Ubisoft Plus coming to Xbox, as you can see here. And they announced on Twitter that we're bringing Ubisoft Plus to Xbox. Expect more news in the future. And then they go on to say, until then, play Rainbow Six Extraction on Xbox Game Pass and PC Game Pass on launch day. And that's a pretty big deal. Rainbow Six Extraction probably isn't going to be my sort of thing these days, because while I used to be a big fan of the Rainbow Six games, I think Ubisoft have done a Ubisoft on it. And Rainbow Six, Ghost Recon, all those kind of games, I actually think Ubisoft have ruined them with their open world, rinse and repeat, paint by numbers approach to development. That's just my opinion, but that's the way it is. And so, yeah, while this is a large and interesting development, it's not one that's really going to interest me too much personally. Although, having said that, having Rainbow Six Extraction on Game Pass and on Game Pass on day one means I can actually dip my toe in and see if I like it. Because you never know, I might like it. I can't see me liking it because, well, they've turned Rainbow Six into, what, a zombie game or something? So it's probably not my sort of thing. But you never know. And that does give me a chance to have a look and find out. But that brings me to the bigger point, and that's Ubisoft Plus coming to Xbox. Because a lot of people thought this meant that Ubisoft Plus was coming to Game Pass as well. And it's not. They actually confirm this down here. If we go into this, is Ubisoft again, and they say, hey, Ubisoft Plus will be a separate subscription from Game Pass, but keep an eye out for more news and launch dates. And this smart person down here, don't know who they are, what, they've got some name like Joe Chip. They say, it's me, in case you were wondering, say that's a mistake. In an attempt to maximize revenue, you'll limit appeal. I'm certainly not paying for another subscription service just for a few Ubisoft games. And that's exactly how I feel. The problem with Ubisoft is that it's a double whammy for me. On the one hand, I think their games have become uninteresting and, as I say, kind of paint by numbers approach to development. But on the other, they've also had all these issues with the way they treat their developers. You know, we've all heard the stories coming out of Ubisoft about, you know, abuse, and some of it's sexual abuse, and the way in which they've moved people around to stop them getting into trouble and all this kind of stuff. So that kind of leaves a nasty taste in my mouth. And so if Extraction was coming out and it turned out to be really good, then I'd be going, oh, you know, I'm really interested. Oh, and I'd be torn. As it stands, I'm not torn. Now, the fact it's on Game Pass means that I might still, as I say, be able to dip my toe in. But Ubisoft Plus is a whole nother issue. And with those two things, the games aren't good enough to interest me. And the attitude at Ubisoft, certainly from the high-ups, seems to be that the developers are there to be used and abused and thrown away when they're no longer of any use. Those two things mean that there is no real incentive for me to want to pay for a Ubisoft subscription over and above the Game Pass subscription. Now, EA have got their EA Play, or whatever it's called, a cut-down version of that is on Game Pass. So even though I have issues with EA, I can still dip my toe into some of their games and try them out for no extra money every month. This is going to be a wholly different issue. Now, not everyone agrees with me, and if you go down here, some people are saying, it's a good thing and all the rest of it. And there's a guy, let me see if I can find this. There's a guy down here who says, see if I can find him. He was called Agent. Now, let me see. There's a couple of them by Agent. Yeah, here. They're giving you 100 plus games for that price, dude. Now, no, they're not. What they're giving you is one game remixed 100 times. It's a different thing. Okay, look, that's kind of hyperbole. It's not quite as bad as that. But let's be honest, Ubisoft games are, as I keep saying, rinse and repeat, paint by numbers game design. The games are all pretty much the same. You get Assassin's Creed, you get like a bird to fly over and look at what the enemy are doing. You do it in Ghost Recon and it's a drone. Same idea, it's just a different skin, and that's pretty much what they do with all their games. So this guy says 100 plus games, and my response was, no, they aren't. They're giving us one game reworked 100 times, which is what I just said. That's the Ubisoft way these days. Their games have become boring as they've chased revenue instead of concentrating on making top-tier games. But hey, if you're into repetition, you buy the subscription. And that's how I feel. Some people aren't going to be put off by the way they treat their staff. Some people aren't going to be put off by the fact that their games are, well, to me, boring. So it might be worth it for them. But I just see that this whole thing whereby you're getting one subscription here and another subscription here, we're already seeing it with, in films and TV, where there's all these different companies offering subscriptions. And sooner or later, what will happen is it will consolidate. And for me, I could see Ubisoft going that way. I could see Ubisoft eventually ending up as being part of Game Pass. What I don't want to see is that Game Pass end up being more like Amazon Prime than Netflix. At the moment, they're like Netflix. You pay a fee and everything on it you can play. You download it, you play it, or you can play it in the cloud, whatever. What's going to happen if we end up with sort of Ubisoft coming in and offering their service, and then other companies coming in, 2K or whoever it might be, coming in and offering their service, and any number of other companies coming in and offering their service? It's going to be like Amazon Plus, whereby you go into Amazon and there's some free content, but then you go to play on something and you go to, watch a film or watch a TV program or whatever, and you have to pay an extra fee, or you have to subscribe to another subscription service. And I don't want to see that kind of fragmentation. And this looks like it could be the first suggestion that we're going to get this fragmentation on Xbox, and probably everywhere else as well, PlayStation as well. PC is we've already seen it on PC. And I don't want to see that. I'm certainly not going to be paying for Ubisoft Plus. And as I say, I might dip my toe into a Rainbow Six Extraction and kind of sit there with a horrible taste in my mouth while I'm playing it. But we'll see. We will see. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say. You guys might completely disagree with me. You might think this is a good idea, Ubisoft Plus coming to Xbox, but not Game Pass. I don't know. If you do, let me know in the comments and we can get into it. For me, waste of money. I don't know how much it's going to cost at this stage, but between 5 and 10 quid probably. I don't know, maybe a bit more. And it's not going to be worth it for me. If you like those kind of games, if you like lots and lots of hours of busy work, fine. But yeah, not for me. Anyway, as I say, let me know what you think in the comments and we can get into it. And in the meantime, I'm going to go and grab myself a cup of tea. Also, as you can see, I'm on camera this time. So let me know what you think about seeing my ugly mug. And if you'd rather not see my ugly mug, let me know. And I'll hide behind the web pages and whatnot again. But anyway, I'm done. I'll speak to you in the next one. Bye.